Good day, class. In this video, we are going to discuss nocturnal emission. Nocturnal emission, similar to the nocturnal enuresis. The translation is not accurate. The disease that we are talking about is we more focused on the involuntary discharge of semen. However, we don't focus on the time when. So this problem may happen at night. It also may happen during the day. It may happen while the patient is sleeping. It also may happen while the patient is awake. So no matter when, but the main symptom is the involuntary discharge of semen. This situation may be accompanied by dreams, so with dreams or without dreams. In a healthy adult, if these adults do not have sexual activities, and if the involuntary discharge of semen happens once a month or even twice a month, this situation is considered as normal, so we don't need to have any treatments to this situation. However, if the adult is sexual activity very active, and then the patient still experiences the involuntary discharge of semen, then this situation will be considered as disease. So we need to have treatments for this situation. And also, it depends on the frequency. No matter the sexuality active or inactive, if the frequency is too frequent, for instance, more than twice a week, the involuntary discharge happens more than twice a week, and in this situation also considered as diseases. So we need to have treatments for these patients. This disease, the nocturnal emission, is described as early as in 黄帝内经, the second volume of 黄帝内经. It described that this problem may due to fear, especially after long-term fear. After long-term fear, the patient may suffer from nocturnal emission, as well as accompanied by the weakness in the waist and knees. So this is actually the kidney deficiency. So in 黄帝内经, we emphasize the kidney deficiency for this problem. As the theory develops in 伤寒杂病论, 张仲景, he described this situation may due to a disharmony of the kidney and the heart. So in the treatments, we're going to focus on the heart and the kidney, especially if this patient suffers from involuntary discharge of semen with dreams. Then we can focus on the heart and the kidney. So just in general, this problem we're going to focus on the heart, the kidney, and then we also need to consider the liver, the heart, and spleen. When we're talking about the kidney, there's one term that we have introduced in the basic theory, but we didn't use it that much, the minister fire. So now we introduce the minister fire, the fire in the heart. The fire in the heart, that's the relationship between the heart and the kidney. The fire in the heart is the primary fire or the emperor fire. The minister fire is in the kidney. So we got two different fire in the body. The fire in the kidney need a heat from the heart. However, the heart, we also need a heart in. Right? The function of the heart, when we discuss the function of heart, we introduce the heart yang and the heart yin. That's the water from the metaphor, the water of the fish in the pot to raise the fish. The water, where does the water come from? Where does the heart yin come from? The heart yin need to be nourished by the kidney. So that's in a healthy situation, the heart fire will want the kidney water, will go down to want the kidney water to benefit the minister fire. The kidney water will generate the heart yin. So that's the harmonize of heart and kidney. Then the disharmonize, the heart fire doesn't come down, the kidney fire goes up to affect the heart. Now we call the minister fire disharmony. The minister fire is still supposed to stay in the kidney, but now the minister fire goes up to the heart instead of the kidney in. So in this situation, we're going to reduce the minister fire. This is actually another term to describe yin deficiency with deficiency heat. So in this situation, the treatments, we're going to focus on the kidney yin. We're going to tonify the kidney yin to reduce the kidney fire, that's the heat. Apart from the deficiency, apart from the kidney, we also need to focus on the damp heat. The damp heat also may affect this, may contribute to this situation. So for this problem, nocturnal emission, the next disease that we are going to introduce, the erectile dysfunction, as well as the premature ejaculation. All these three diseases are very similar. The etiology are very similar. The location of organs are also very similar. So the treatments are quite similar. We're going to distinguish into deficiency and excess damp heat. So for damp heat, we need to clear the damp heat, clear the heat, clear the dampness, such as spleen 9. So we have introduced in the nocturnal enuresis, spleen 9. The main symptoms of this problem include involuntary discharge of semen. It can be during the sleep, so you can remove this. It can be during the sleep. It doesn't have to be during sleep. It doesn't have to be during the sleep. It can during the sleep or even the patient is awake. It can be accompanied by dizziness, blurred vision, fatigue, weakness in the waist. So as you can see here, all these are related to the kidney. With or without dreams, more than twice a week. This type of patient, they may have the history of deficiency, of kidney deficiency, for instance, from genetically from a weak parents, either very young parents or senior parents in terms of their age. Excessive sexual activities also may contribute to kidney deficiency. And the diet, excess alcohol intake, we see food that may contribute to this situation, especially with damp heat. Nocturnal emission, we need to differentiate with the premature ejaculation. The difference between these two diseases, nocturnal emission is without sexual activity, and then the patient have experienced the involuntary discharge of semen, and then the premature ejaculation is during the sexual activities. So this is the main difference between these two diseases. The central differentiation, it can be the kidney deficiency, heart and spleen deficiency. Of course, whenever you diagnose a syndrome, always need to think about what are the causes, what are the possible causes. You must find the possible causes that contribute to this syndrome. Otherwise, you can't diagnose this syndrome with our cause. Kidney qi deficiency, symptoms and possible causes which can contribute. For example, spleen deficiency. What can contribute to spleen deficiency? Such as the cold food, long-term cold food intake, overthinking, because the spleen, the emotion, overthinking, overworking the heart, the mind, the kidney deficiency also may have the history of excessive sexual activity. Kidney yin deficiency with deficiency fire. This is what we call the minister fire. Wrist tongue scanty coating. Then the patient will present with some symptoms that are related to kidney deficiency. Then heat, yellow. The patient may experience burning sensation during urination. Bitter taste. When you see these points, room 1, room 4, bladder 23, bladder 32, spleen 6. These main points, some of them are local points, such as room 1, room 4, even bladder 32. These are all local points, but in the meantime, they also have specific functions, indication due to their actions. For example, room 1. Room 1 is the connecting points of Room meridian and Du meridian. Room meridian is the Yin meridian. Du meridian is the Yang meridian. The C of Yin meridian and the C of Yang meridian, they connect at room 1. So room 1 can connect the Yin and Yang of the body. Room 4 can tonify the liver, spleen, and kidney. Bladder 23 is the back-through point of the kidney, so we can use acupuncture accompanied with Moxibustion. We also can use Moxibustion. We can also use the warm needling technique. Bladder 32 also can tonify the kidney, strengthen the storing function of the kidney. So the storing function that we have introduced to receive the qi, the kidney also can store the fluid, the essence. So the semen is also considered as one type of the essence. Essence that you can see is an yin essence. So in another situation, that's when we discuss the male infertilities. If the patient suffers from scanty semen, then you will know this is yin essence deficiency. So you're going to tonify the yin. When you see the report that's inactive of the sperms, it don't move well. That's the yang. So you're going to tonify yang. Then for this situation, the nocturnal emission, the semen is in, so the excess discharge, involuntary discharge, the excess discharge will may result in indeficiency, especially the essence deficiency. So you can tonify the kidney. Spleen 6 is a very good point to tonify or to adjust the spleen, the liver, and the kidney, because that's where the 3 yin meridian connect. Kidney qi deficiency, you can add bladder 52, kidney 3, the yuan source points of kidney. Heart and spleen, put 2, the back-through points of the heart and spleen. You also can use the yuan source points of the heart and spleen. In deficiency, tonify kidney, tonify the heart, especially if the patient accompanied with dreams. Damp heat, Ren 3 and spleen 9. Spleen 9 we have mentioned quite a few times for heat. For heat, for dampness, you can use spleen 9. Spleen 9 has the function of clearing heat and dampness. The needling techniques, you can just follow the general needling techniques. The only one we need to emphasize, if you want to use Ren 1, you will be deep insertion. So you can put 2 cun or even 3 cun. The auricular acupuncture, the skin needling techniques, these are all the other techniques that you can apply. For this problem, apart from the treatments, we also need to advise the patient that's the lifestyle. For instance, they need to, it depends on the causes of the disease. If due to excessive sexual activities, the patient need to limit the sexual activities, no matter what type of sexual activities, you need to limit. Also, if no sexual activities, in some other situations, especially for teenagers, you also need to advise to watch the pornography. This also may result in this problem. The last common situation is anxiety or stress. Because a patient suffers from nocturnal emission, they may experience stress or anxiety. So the emotion also very important. That's why we focus on the treatments. We also sometimes focus on the liver. We also need to ask the patient to do some exercise. This also can help to relieve the emotion. In this video, we mainly discuss the nocturnal emission. When we see this kind of patient, it is also very important to identify the possible causes, and then we can advise the patient to change their lifestyle or their habits, or at least to minimize the influence from their lifestyle. That's the only way can prevent this problem happen again. So the lifestyle is also very important in this treatment, especially for prevention. Thank you for your attention.